Welcome to the One Gang Worldwide podcast, your ultimate ride into the world of motorcycles. Visit cyclesworldwide.com where we offer a completely free marketplace for everything motorcycles. Join our One Gang community where you can connect, share info, and swap stories with riders from all over the world. Join for free at cyclesworldwide.com and be a part of the One Gang community right now.
On today's episode of the One Gang Worldwide podcast, we're joined by Eitan Butbul, team owner of the American Racing Moto2 team at the MotoGP World Championship and CEO of the American Racing Academy. Eitan's renowned for his forward-thinking approach and significant contributions to the motorcycle industry, fueled by a passion to turn American racers into world champions. We'll learn how it all got started and what it took to get there. So strap in for a fast-paced episode with Eitan, right here on the One Gang podcast.
Damage. And KTM, we are missing some tank cover and some tank and everything. They say, no, you cannot get parts. You don't have any credit. You need to pay. We're in Qatar. We have a session. I had to give them my American Express as a deposit so we can get some parts. Just to understand the level of, so that's how I start, my journey.
What's up, One Gang? I used to think that if I spent big money on riding gear with a logo on the back, I was getting top quality. I gave Leather Up a shot. I wasn't sure at first, could I really get quality gear without spending a fortune? But after putting tens of thousands of miles on their jackets and vests, I had my answer. No busted zippers, no loose stitching, just solid, well-made gear that lasts. Leather Up carries trusted brands like Milwaukee Leather, Hot Leathers, and more, with gear for every rider and every budget. Plus, their customer service actually cares and picks up the phone, something rare these days. So do yourself a favor. Check out leatherup.com. Whether you need jackets, vests, chaps, boots, helmets, or luggage, they've got you covered. And because you're part of the One Gang Worldwide family, use code CW20 at checkout for 20% off your entire order. Stop overpaying, gear up with Leather Up, and see the difference yourself. One Gang Worldwide podcast, brought to you by Keyboard Motorcycle Shipping. Since 1978, Keyboard Motorcycle Shipping has been the trusted name in transporting motorcycles safely across the country. With custom-designed pallets and air ride trailers, your bike is secure and protected every step of the way. By choosing Keyboard Motorcycle Shipping, you're supporting a dedicated small business that prioritizes quality and customer satisfaction. Ship with a peace of mind, knowing your motorcycle is in expert hands. Visit keyboardmotorcycleshipping.com for more information. Now, let's dive into today's episode.
What's up, One Gang? Welcome to the show. We got an awesome one today. Eitan Butbul, team owner of American Racing Moto2 team and for the MotoGP World Championship, and also a CEO at the American Racing Academy. This is going to be a great show. Take you inside what's involved in training, being competitive worldwide. So thank you so much for joining us and welcome to the show.
Thank you guys for inviting me.
We're excited to have you. So let's start at the beginning. Where did you grow up, and what were your early interests or passions?
I grew up in Israel many years ago, 55 already.
Where in Israel?
Beersheba. It's like a
Beersheba, okay.
I don't know. You know the city? Small town.
Yes. Yeah.
Small town in the south, yeah. So I grew up in Israel. I came to US 20 years ago. But most of my young life and until 35, I was in Israel.
Wow. So all the way up until 35, you were in Israel.
Yeah.
So when growing up in Israel, what sparked your passion for motorcycles and the industry?
I think the passion started from when I was a really young kid. But back then in Israel, racing wasn't something like very popular. Even today, there is a racing scene, but it's not big as in Europe or US. But when I was a kid, it wasn't existing at all. So it was more like a dirt bike just to hang around and go to the desert and,
Cool.
Just go around.
What were you riding when you were young? What kind of bikes did you have?
I remember, back then it was some years that we had the embargo from, our country. So we didn't have any Honda, Suzuki, Kawasaki.
Right.
Yeah, the Japanese didn't come to Israel. So we had Italian mainly, Spanish. So I used to have a Fantic 50cc.
Okay.
kind of enduro bike.
Yeah, yeah.
Cool.
But that was like the first bike, that we used to ride. But that's it. But the passion was there, and mostly, watching TV back then, Eurosport and other channels.
Did you grow up like was your dad into riding? Do you have any brothers or sisters?
I got two brothers younger than me.
Were they riders too?
Yes, I think even
Nice, nice. So you come from a full
yeah,
family.
but
Yeah.
no, I think my dad didn't in the beginning. He didn't want me to have a bike, even though he had a bike before. But you know how is it? He preferred not. But
Yeah,
That's why he
yeah,
didn't want you to
yeah,
have one.
but the passion was too strong, I think, for that. And I put a hell of a pressure of them to get the first bike, and then I gave them a lot of trouble as a kid, really a lot of trouble.
Did you go from an enduro to a sport bike, or did you always
Only
just have
yeah, but only
enduros?
only after that's why, because we didn't have too much variety of bikes in Israel back then.
Right.
So mainly we did like a dirt bikes. Uh, Only I think after I finished the army, Japan Suzuki stuff came to Israel, so I got the Suzuki 600 and then 750 and stuff. But only when I was 20 something.
Okay, gotcha. So you make the move to LA. Eventually, made the decision to leave Israel. What inspired that move for you?
If I don't know, I think all years my wife and I used to come, visit in LA and visit friends and stay here for a month, or just we love the US, we love America, we like the people. And I think in some point after many years of like working and businesses and events, and life was busy enough.
Right.
I had the chance, I came to visit and I had the chance to stay, to do some partnership, some business. And I said, okay, if either we do it now or it's never gonna happen. I was
You know,
35 with
one.
two kids, so
Oh wow. So
Wow.
you had a lot of on your plate for sure. Were you doing real estate back in Israel
no,
too? No. So when you came to LA, that's what you got into?
I did completely different stuff. Um, we had a franchisee of a chain that called Burger Ranch. It's like a McDonald's,
Huh.
and we have like
Yeah.
6 locations back then.
Nice,
But
nice.
restaurant business, it's heavy. It's get you tired. It's nonstop. And
Yep.
then when I told you we came to visit, and some friend offered me just to stay and do some construction stuff, and I said, you know what, let's do the try. So we shut down everything and move here, and we start from zero, from nothing, from some area that I didn't have any knowledge or understanding, like construction in Los Angeles. So, but that's how we
Gotcha,
started
gotcha.
with two kids.
Man.
That's interesting. That's crazy. So no experience at all as far as construction prior to coming here, learning from this person, friend of yours.
Nothing, zero.
Wow.
Gosh.
Okay. That's pretty
Yeah.
gutsy, man. That's
So tell us about your launch into real estate. It's such a competitive market out there. How did you first get into it, and what were kind of what would you consider the milestones that you achieved over those early years?
I think at the beginning, my friend used to have a small company that just doing kind of remodeling for other construction companies. So we start working together. But I remember I used to drive and going through Beverly Hills, another nice neighborhood, and it's a big project. And I said, fuck, this is if I'm doing this stuff, I need to be there. It's not for me to do the small stuff,
right, right.
not my style.
Good
So
for
Hmm.
you.
I think after a few months or maybe a year, again, sometime somebody send you somebody that believe in you. I met somebody that
Hmm.
from West Hollywood. They had crazy run with a lot of project to do. He gave me one project. I signed with him. We had a good connection, and then he called me one day and he told me, "Okay, I got a few projects. I wanted to see if you'll be able to take it. I like your style. I like the way you're working." And I'm talking about to
Nice,
doing
nice.
from I don't know $30,000-$50,000 project to 500 in one time.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
he opened like
It's a
a
big jump.
box and pulled some plans and permits for 11 units in West Hollywood, 6 units in West Hollywood, underground,
Okay.
subterranean parking. I look at the plans, like I understand something. I didn't understand shit, nothing at all. I told him, yeah, I can do it, no problem. So from doing like addition and small houses, the guy throwing us like, few $1 million project in one shot.
Nice.
We dive in and start, learning. You know, it was tough, but sometimes you need one person to believe that you can do it, and then we nail it down. So we did really, really
That's
good.
awesome.
After 1 year, I think I started doing really good on construction as a general
Nice.
contractor.
Okay.
And I think this is what gave me so much experience because we involved in like a big project, complicated project.
Mhm.
West Hollywood, it's a difficult city to work with. So that was a good
Absolutely.
experience, a good school.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So you said 5 units, 10 units, whatever it was. When you say units, are you speaking about, is it
Yeah,
condos or
yeah,
is
condo
this
like
like
buildings.
strictly
Yeah,
commercial?
3-story building,
Buildings.
Okay,
4-story
cool.
buildings with. Yeah.
And did you get into commercial at all or was it mostly residential?
I never did commercial, only residential.
Residential.
Cool.
Yeah,
All
but
right.
So
then the crisis hit in 2008 9.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So in one day everything stopped.
Well, that's good
Gosh.
because that kind of leads us to this next question. You're building your real estate career out in LA. How did the two worlds collide? How did this motorcycle racing come into your life? Take us how you transitioned into that, who you met, how it all started, because I think that's a very important part of a huge change in your life.
Eh, as I told you, also as a kid, we used to watch, MotoGP over
Right.
and back then it's like only Eurosport, and I started travel to go races in Italy when we used to get, tickets by mail when you're not like online and stuff. Uh, so all this year, just follow MotoGP. Big fan of, obviously Mick Duan and then Kevin Schwantz and then obviously Valentino Rossi was like the biggest, like the
Right.
idol. And and then when we came to US, we start traveling, my wife and I, to more and more and more races and try to experience the races from the inside. And and in some point, I think in 2015, I didn't have to be like, always find like a VIP pass, all this stuff. So I said, okay, I need to be a little bit more involved.
Right.
So I think in Misano, I saw Lucio Cicchinello from LCR Honda in the paddock. So I just went to him, approached him. I told him, hey, my name is Eitan. I'm from Los Angeles. Who I need to talk to you about sponsorship? It's you or somebody else? And after 5 minutes, we start talking, get to his office, coffee, and talk and talk, become
Nice.
friends. So I did small sponsorship to the team, just to to be involved around the team, like from the inside. And then the second year, a little
Mhm.
bit bigger, and that's how I
So
started.
that got you down on the sidelines then, right?
Yes, because we used to go every year, buy like a VIP passes from one of the agency, go host as a team. But again, now I understand because I'm from the other side. It's for somebody that really have the passion and like the sport and the stuff to be inside the box and to be related to a team and come with the past that you're part of the team and stuff. It was like a dream. And obviously it costs money as a sponsor, but that again, it's the passion with when you have the sources to do it. So that's how it started, the relationship inside the
Right.
paddock. Um,
Yeah.
but
You definitely have to invest into education. So that's basically what you did was investing into your education of what takes place. I mean, that's the
yeah,
reality, right?
yeah. Uh, so we did this one for 2 years, and we used to travel for more races, with the family, with the kids. I said the kids less like it, the events and stuff. We used to drag them just, as a young kids to races in Europe and stuff. But it was fun, and then I got more familiar inside the paddock with the people, and in 2017, my wife told me there is a young kid named Joe Roberts. He just signed to ride for the following year in the MotoGP in the Moto2 category. He's the only American rider, and it's maybe I want to just she told me just approach him, maybe to help him, support him, or do something because we always been thinking what's going on, why there is no American in the championship.
Right.
Nicky Hayden was the
Mhm.
last one, and before that, it was like
Yeah.
a big American era in the MotoGP. But so yeah, that's how we start. The relationship with Joe. So I just approach him. I remember I just send him a text over Facebook, uh, and just to introduce myself, what I'm doing, and then if you want to meet me, and then we met at Nobu in Malibu.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
He came after surfing,
Good spot
like a
to meet.
young California guy. We was talking, and then we understood that he didn't have any manager back then. His dad was helping him. He signed a deal
Mhm.
to ride for 1 year with some Dutch team, RW. Um, it was the connection was good. I felt good, and I felt I need to do something with the kid. Uh, Again, I offer something that was like out of completely of my what I'm doing. Uh, just try to see if it's something we can do. So I offer him to manage him.
Nice.
Again, no knowledge, no
Right.
previous
Right.
experience,
Sure, I can do it.
just to help him and travel with him and do some try to support him. And after a negotiation and talking with him and his dad and stuff, they agreed to do it, and we signed contract for few years. So
Nice.
from 2018, I was starting travel with him to all the races, most of them, as his manager. So it was the transformation from sponsor, some kind related to one
Yeah.
team, to
Into
like
manager.
a rider manager. So it's to travel,
Yeah.
races, got familiar with the paddock a little bit more, understand the inside and out, from the business side,
Yeah.
and
Hmm.
especially know the people and understand how everything working from the inside.
Ethan, can I ask you a quick question? When you're at this point now where you're traveling with him on these events, what's happening with your company, the construction company? Like, you have somebody running it because during season you got to be moving all the time, correct?
I have a business partner in over here in Los Angeles. In the beginning, it was just it wasn't something that a business plan that I had put together and then I say, okay, this is what
Right.
I'm
Right.
doing. So I used to go to 10 races, 12 races. It was like, okay, I'm going for the weekend and coming back, but so simultaneously we used to run both, like Joe management stuff and the business here, the same
Hmm.
scale, the same time. Uh, was challenged because, we didn't, the setup wasn't perfectly for that. But I think slowly, and especially after 2 years, we managed to build some kind of mechanism that I can
Nice.
go away, uh, be away, for a few weeks and come back, and obviously when I'm out, I'm still working, laptop, emails, calls,
Hmm.
WhatsApp,
Right.
Hmm.
24/7. So it's not like something that cannot run. But regardless, maybe later we can look. But today we don't do any general contract or work for clients or developer. We doing stuff for ourselves. We are the developer. We
Cool.
buying property. We knock down the
Yeah.
house. We build a new house and we sell it. So the
Gotcha.
scale of
Flipping.
work is
Cool.
big. We're doing massively. We're doing a lot.
Hmm.
But still, we're doing stuff to ourselves. So the level of stress and
Understand.
it's less.
You're managing your own projects instead of other people's
Exactly.
projects, which definitely gives you a little peace of
Yeah,
mind.
and we split between
Hmm.
us. So I'm finding the deal. I'm set up everything with the financial, investor, banks, loans, all the package. And as soon as the
Right.
construction start, I'm moving to the back, and he handle everything. He's doing the stuff top. He's one of the top builders in LA. Again,
Nice.
I don't need to be involved. It's also good for both of us. So he's doing his stuff, I'm doing my stuff, which is really good.
Gotcha.
Good partnership,
Thank
good
you.
relationship, and we are very, very good friends. So it's working well.
Awesome.
I'm lucky
Nice. Yeah.
on this.
So back to racing real quick. You had mentioned meeting Joe at Nobu in LA after surfing. That's the most California story ever. But in contrast, going over to Europe and seeing races across the different tracks over there, um, curious about the contrast over there compared to here, and what specifically about those races further deepened your passion for the sport?
It's meaning what between American rider to like compared to what they have over there.
Yes. Yep.
Uh, I think it's mostly the mentality, and the if I'm taking Joe, it's it's Joe is a completely different breed over there. If you see him, the way he's acting, dress, um,
Hmm.
his lifestyle, and everything is completely different than the Spanish guy. Uh,
Hmm.
but this is Joe. But there's other races that try to be the European. Joe tried to keep his style as like a different guy and stuff as it is. He don't try to be European as other riders. But I think the big difference is uh, the facilities, the education, the academies, the sources, and what they have in Europe, Italy, Spain. It's something that we don't have it in US, and we're
Hmm.
far away to be close to that. Especially for young kids that start very, very early stage. Kids in Europe
Hmm.
start when they're 4 or 5 years old, start racing, not just riding, racing. So
Yeah.
this is something that wasn't existing in US until the last 2 or 3 years with the Ovale Championship, the mini bike.
Hmm.
Um, that's why I think the level or the difference between American and what's going on over here to the European. Um, you're going over there, you see it's like in the soul, it's like the mentality, everything around it, and you're going
Right.
also to races and you see 100,000 people, 200,000 people come to see
Yeah.
races.
Gosh.
And then you come into US, we have only one race, but 30,000, big events, nice facility, nice track like Austin, supposed to be,
Hmm.
should be something really big. It's not there. That's the
It's not.
so again, there's many, I think, reason why, but it's been like this for years. So I think it's gonna take
Hmm.
more time to maybe try and change. Not change, but just educate more people and show and expose the sport to more people over here in US.
Yeah. Yeah. Improve
Well,
the fanfare.
that's actually a great follow up to what I was going to ask too, because you took a big leap in 2018, taking over a struggling Moto2 team and kind of rebranding the American racing. What led to that decision, and what challenges did you face during that transition?
The team wasn't again. The team wasn't. I always in life have some events or something that changed my life that I didn't plan it. It's like just come and opportunity came
Right.
and I jump in. When I managed Joe in 2018, we signed up to ride for this used to call the Swiss team.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that was a good team that ran 2 times for the World Championship with Tom Luthi. They finished second twice. Uh, so we signed up. Joe signed up with them to ride in 19 and 20. I was involved as his manager. We signed the deal. And before the season finished in 2018, the team owner came and explained me that the financial situation that even the team is really bad, and if I can help, I can sponsor, I can do something. I told them I'm not going to do any sponsorship, but I felt also that there is a big chance that the team will shut down and Joe will lose his ride. And it was a good deal, good contract. And again, at this stage, to find a different solution for Joe, it was too late. So I offer him to invest some money in the team, but to be a partner, not just an investor or like a sponsor.
Right.
Give them a sense of ownership. Yep.
He immediately agreed. That was like because usually you can't find team to sell or nobody gets partners or stuff. It's very rare. Um,
Hmm.
so obviously I asked to be a majority, so I have some control. He agreed as well, so that's why it was a little bit even more suspicious. Um, that's how we started. But when we signed the contract, I flew to Japan. I have Dona and Irta sign off on give the blessing for the deal. We sign up that I need to pay some kind of a debt that he have, and also he have a sponsor for 19 to come with the team. and actually introduced me to the sponsor, and we met, and so everything was like, okay, cool. We're going to next year. We have some budget and stuff. Apparently, that's the debt was much bigger than what we agree and what was on the contract.
Oh, really?
Huh.
For five or
Damn.
600,000, I don't remember. It was 1.6 million. And the sponsor that was signed contract, we find out beginning of the season, not even the season, just I think January 19. Everything
Right.
was a bullshit fake, and the guy wasn't.
Wow.
So I end up not even start the year January with the team that I own 60%. We paid already 600,000 to cover some debt, and
Uh-huh.
the team start the season like now need money to buy parts, buy stuff,
Right. Right. Of course.
Yeah.
and with the zero sponsorship money, nothing, zero.
Gosh. That's insane.
So it was a two option. Either I walk away and just I lost the money because there is no way to recover the what we spent already,
Uh-huh.
or we just jump in and try to save it. And again, we changed the team to American racing team with all the ideas of American. How we're sure that it's going to be super easy to get sponsorship. It took me a few weeks to understand that there's no chance I can get money from US right now.
Shit.
So that's it. I just jump, into the events, but then
Ethan, what does it take? What does it take? Sorry to interrupt you. I just want that for our audience. I don't think a lot of people understand the finances that go into having a team like that. What's an average yearly spending what's a season cost a team owner?
Moto2 budget, it's between 2.5 to 3 million euro a year. It depends on cash, parts, how much you spend, travel, sometimes jumping, depends where we're going.
Right.
But that's the average. Let's say 2.5
2.5.
million.
And the debt you took over was 1 point what?
So the debt was 1 point something, 1.5 or 6.
1.5.
And then
Okay.
need to run the team as well.
Oh man, so you were coming into this.
Yeah, it's really bad. But we found out quickly that the guys is like was not a crook, but not honest. Plus the guys at the team, he was abuse them, don't treat them well and stuff. So I offer him to bring money into the team or just walk away. So he just walked away.
Right.
I took over the 100% of the team, and
Wow.
luckily that I brought some good friend of mine. He came as in the beginning as a small partner, just investor, just for the fun. But as soon as he understand the situation, but also the opportunity to be a team owner at the championship, he jumped with me to the deep water, and so he's my business partner. He's from Israel, and,
Yep.
and since then we are fully committed. So we start 19 with no money, no knowledge to manage a team, no parts, no stability inside the paddock, no
Wow.
it wasn't any one vendor that was ready to give us parts or stuff without paying in advance. Walking in the paddock, everybody look at you like you are a crook, which just took a team. It's not like we left
Right,
after
right.
him a huge mess, huge mess.
How were you
Yeah.
accepted? How were you accepted by other team owners taking over a team from a guy that's not really honest, and now all of a sudden they got this new face that's walking around the pits and walking around and talking and has his race team. How was that transition like for you?
What
Because I know
wasn't
you're
good.
probably walking in with, yeah, I'm sure. I'm
Man,
sure.
wasn't good. This guy, who is he? Israeli, from US,
Right,
zero knowledge about the sport. He
right,
wasn't a rider. It come from nothing. What he's doing over here? And again, some people thought that time was like a trick that he did, the previous owner. Everybody knew the real
right.
that we lost so much money
Yeah.
in. And you build yourself from the beginning. I remember the first race in Qatar in 2019. We quickly understood that we kick him out, so I had to go into Qatar. I didn't have my American passport done yet. I got the citizenship, but
Oh,
didn't
no.
do the passport. So I had this Israeli passport, and to go to Qatar, it's almost impossible. Uh,
Right.
Wow.
I got a ticket through London. We pull all the string that possible, all the connection. And apparently, one guy from New York, I cannot say his name, is a rabbi. He's a good friend with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Qatar. They sent me to
Wow.
Qatar embassy in Los Angeles. Uh, they told me go over there, fill the application, you'll get the visa. Told them Israeli passport, I cannot go there.
No way.
Told me go over there, it's gonna be fine. And man, 2 days before the flight, I got a call. I came, they gave me the passport with like a diplomatic visa. And man,
Jeez.
in the end of the day, the Qatari did like a huge came forward. I was scared. Fuck, I'm going. It was
Of
banned for
course,
Israeli.
of course. Yeah,
I
man.
flew to London and I took a night flight from London to Doha by myself. And during the flight, I said, "Fuck, what I'm doing? I'm not
Right.
supposed to be there."
Shit, man. What the hell did I get myself into, man?
And I arrived to Doha. Somebody was waiting for me with a sign. He took me to the lounge. The police opened the guy and opened the passport. He saw Israeli, looked at me, went to the side, came back, stamped it, welcome. It was, man, amazing. Like the feeling now, it's like, okay, yeah, we did it many times and stuff, all good, but it was like not easy situation. But
Of course.
I arrive on Friday morning, Friday afternoon, first session, we going out. Iker Lequena, I think is you see the suit over here behind me, the white.
Hmm.
Yep,
This
yep.
is the crash one. The first session, after 9 minutes, he had a huge crash, huge, massively.
Shit.
Take him to the hospital. The bike was
Oh my
damaged,
god.
and KTM, we have missing some tank cover and some tank and everything. They say, no, you cannot get parts. You don't have any credit. You need to pay. We in Qatar. We have a
Oh.
session. I had to give them my American Express as a deposit so we can get some parts. So
Oh
just to
gosh.
understand the level of, so that's how I start,
Yeah.
my journey as a team manager.
Wow, man.
Wow.
See, that's what I love. I mean, I know you went through a lot of pain and agony on that, but that's what I love. Like to a lot of people at that point are going like, "Screw this! I'm in the wrong business. I'm going back to the easy building stuff." You stood, oh, man. That's so
No, no,
awesome.
no, no.
Thanks for sharing. Thank you for sharing that story. That was pretty intense, man.
So yeah, that weekend will remember forever. That's why I put the suit here to remind me every day that I'm coming in the morning where we start. It was
Mm,
Right.
really challenge, but I think we did.
that's
We
incredible.
managed slowly to build relationship and build our name. It took time. People very suspicious in the paddock,
Hmm.
and I think show that we coming, to race and we want to get results.
Yeah.
And for us, it's not a business. We don't do it just as a business or make money or profit or something. It's purely racing.
Yep.
Hmm. Am I understanding you correctly when you were saying that there was a sponsor? Were you referring to the previous owner or manager, or were you referring to a sponsor when you found out in January that they were full of it?
He sponsored the team in 2018. He's a Swiss guy. He had the bank or something,
Okay.
and he
Hmm.
committed to do another year sponsorship in 19. They
Okay.
show me some kind of a contract. But then after months, I found an email that before we signed the contract with the team, he let them know that he
Mm-hmm.
will not continue for 19. So they used some old contract that he let them know that it's not valid anymore, just so
Mm-hmm.
to drag me into the situation. So
So that was my question. I was trying to understand their play. So it sounds like it was sabotage essentially.
something like this. That's why we decided we cannot work with this guy anymore with the previous team owner, and he just walk away. And again,
Right.
Yeah, that makes
we
sense.
brought so much money in the first year, so you know
Hmm.
that was the only
Yeah,
solution.
gotcha. So you had mentioned rebranding Moto2 into American Racing, and that was a bold move. What was your vision for the team, and how did you start laying the groundwork for developing American talent?
I think when we did it in 19, it wasn't still like a big plan because again, we jump into the situation without any like a previous business plan or ideas and stuff. It was like, okay, let's do it. But I think it was okay. We
Mhm.
have a team with an American rider. We want to attract American sponsor. We base in US, and we can start build something that related to US. That's why we call it American Racing
Mm-hmm.
Team. Uh,
Smart.
the ideas of try to work with the young kids in early stage and create the academy was in 2020, right after COVID, because COVID hit us in March in Qatar. We used to
Mm-hmm.
do only Moto2 and Moto3 because MotoGP wouldn't
Right.
allow to come back. So we finished the race, and then we came back home for 3 months. Everything was shut down. So I was like, okay, what? It's the time maybe to do some stuff and organize some stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
couldn't stay still and just do nothing. And,
Right.
and then at the same time in US they start working with the Ovale, the mini bike, to create some kind of a small championship.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. The idea came to do some team, a proper team. So we got 4 bikes. I pick up the phone and I called. I did some research to understand who's the top 4 kids that in US that can ride at the age of, I don't
Mm-hmm.
know, 9, 11, 12. That was the age. So I pick up the
Mm-hmm.
phone, call all the
Wow.
parents, and I told them, okay, we have a team, four
Man.
bikes, the bikes going to be branded American Racing, suits, helmets, everything like a proper team in Europe. And I want
Mm-hmm.
the kids to ride with us. So I recruit 4 kids. Back then it was the top kids in
Cool.
US.
Mm-hmm.
We did like a proper team with like a big tent, everything branded, sponsor, and everything. And
That's so
and
cool.
we just start racing in US during the COVID, and then a little bit after,
Mm-hmm.
and then start working, with the kids to see how we can help and support mm, to build them up, to bring them in some point to Europe or some championship in Europe. I support
Man.
few kids that went to ride in Europe it's called the Yama R3 Championship.
Mm-hmm.
One of them was Kayla Yakov. She's
Yeah.
riding
Yeah.
today
Yeah.
for Ducati. So I used to manage her and
Great.
then
Great
support
little
her.
racer. Yep.
And another kids, Travis Horn. Um, but then I think in 2 years ago I decided just to pull back. The championship in US between Moto America and the Ovale and all the stuff wasn't like ready yet
Mm-hmm.
locally here in US to take it to the different level. So for us,
Mm-hmm.
it was okay. We're doing so much, but we don't have the tools or the right bikes or the right championship in US that we can build something, which is going to change
Mm-hmm.
this year in 2025. But back then it wasn't. So we pulled a little bit, and I just was busy, getting like a little bit adult, like Sean Dylan Kelly, Rory Skinner is from the UK, but still the same, and some other riders that I can build them quickly in 1 year, 2 years, and bring them to the team. Um, Super challenge and super difficult. There is no way.
Not bad.
Just give like in. There is no way to get any American rider that's riding in Moto America, either super sport or super bike, directly to Moto2. We try with
Mm-hmm.
Cameron, which by far is the most successful rider in the US. Um, we try with Sean Dylan Kelly. It's just not working. They need time in Europe. They need time on those bikes
Mm-hmm.
before they come into this world championship. The level is so high. Um, so it's a big challenge.
Yeah. We had a racer on one of our podcasts. He's an American kid, and he went over to France, and then he did a little bit of racing out there, and he said that the biggest difference is like in Europe, they're extremely aggressive and they really don't care what happens to you. They're gonna run right through you. Where he said the American guys, when he races here, there's a little bit more respect towards it, especially when they don't know who you are. They kind of like swipe you like a fly off the road if it gets you out of the way, so you don't get in their way. And he was mentioning the difference of how aggressive those guys are compared to. I mean, U.S. is very aggressive, but there is a form of respect in there also. So
There is,
that was one of the interesting things.
yeah, the mentality of the riders for sure it's different. But also remember, Moto3, Moto2, and MotoGP for sure. It's a GP bike. It's a different chassis. It's acting completely different than superbike. And for any rider that all his life or most of his life riding a super sport, superbike style, to do the switch to a Moto2 bike, it's take a lot of time. Sometimes it's not going to happen because
Yeah.
the way they're riding, the way they braking, the way they leaning on the bike, it's completely different. It's like it's two bike wheels the same way and everything look the same, but it's handling completely
Right.
different. So
Yeah.
that's the
Absolutely.
biggest difference. And most of the kids in all of the kids in Europe, they train, they grew up and everything on
Yeah.
GP bikes. So they have the experience, the knowledge, and this is what they know.
Right.
So that's we had like after Joe left us in after 2020 end of the year when Joe left to a different team, we brought Cameron Boubier to ride for us. It was like big deal in US. It was a big deal for us to bring him. I think also the championship, they like it that we brought some American star to ride in the championship.
Right.
So he did 2 years with us, which is the second year we brought also Sean Dillon Kelly. And then I think it's the first time that there is an American team with two American riders in the
Right.
championship. Um, but again, for us, it was like the dream team, like, American team, two American
Of
riders. We can
course.
build them up. It's going to take a
Right.
little bit more time, but it's coming on. Uh, Cameron did very well, even though it was difficult for him. I think some races he did well, some races less. But I think he was already too old. He wanted to start a family. His
Right.
head was in US. So after the 2 years, he
Right.
decided to go back. And Sean stayed. Obviously, with him, everything went down pretty quickly on the second year. Uh, it was very, very difficult. The result didn't show up. The level wasn't there. Uh, many mistake that he did, many mistake I did because I used to be also his manager. So I was his manager on one side and also the team owner.
Team owner. Yeah.
Uh, and just it didn't work out. So even this is something
Gotcha.
usually we don't do or something, but during the season we decided to split away, and I brought replacement rider. And the same thing with Rory Skinner, that he came from UK, but also John Hopkins and I managed him back then. We also thought he can be really good. That's also we got slap in the face that the level is not there, and we spent so much time and energy and money
Yeah.
on something direction that it's not going to go. Uh, that's why we did the switch quickly last year. Decided
Yep.
we're going to bring only experienced riders or riders that did few years in the Junior GP, which is the Spanish Championship on those bikes. We managed to bring Joe back to us. I think for him and for us, it was like a big comeback.
Absolutely.
Let's say for him, it's come back home, and for us, it was to bring him back. It was a
Yep.
good move. We fixed the relationship a little bit between him and me because we end up in 2020 with some kind of. I wasn't happy that he left us, left me because I came to the championship because of him. I bought the team for him,
Of
did the
course.
stuff.
Of
Then he
course.
decided to go.
It's like a good marriage gone bad. Yeah.
It's more like a
Yeah.
son and a dad. Like he just left me.
Right. 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 Good point. Good point.
But we try to keep it like no, like we used to see each other in the paddock, like hi bye, but not like it did. But we managed. I met him a year before in Laguna Seca. Just randomly we talk, and I told him, "What do you think you come to ride again for the team?" So we start slowly. We talk. I think we clean the table between us. There is nothing left, and we
Nice.
last year we built slowly the relationship that I think we become close again between us. The relationship is really good. Um,
Yeah.
and obviously it's worked out. And I changed a lot, a lot, a lot. I did a lot of stuff before last season uh, over here in US with myself, with understanding, approach, style, and everything, which helped me a lot. And I think the result was showing from day one.
Hey guys, the show will be back in 1 minute right after a word from our sponsor.
Hey, one gang, tired of feeling like your butt's taking more of a beating than your bike on those long rides? Introducing Butt Buffer, the ultimate solution to saddle soreness. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. These cushions are made from medical grade viscoelastic polymer, scientifically crafted to eliminate pressure points and keep your circulation flowing. No more numb nuts or numb butts. And here's the best part: Butt Buffer cushions are made right here in the US for the last 30 years. From Harleys to Hondas, we've got a cushion to fit your ride perfectly. Plus, with styles ranging from sleek pebble polymer to luxurious sheepskin, there's a butt buffer for every rider's style. Get your butt buffer today at buttbuffer.com. That's buttbuffer.com. Your butt will thank you, and you'll ride longer and happier. We've got your butt covered. That's awesome. Hey, I'm going to take a step back just for a second. You were talking about a lot of the changes between, and especially like chassis, things of that nature. You had switched to Kalex chassis and then brought on John Hopkins as the coach at that moment in time. What approach did you take to making those decisions, and kind of like what impact did that have on your team and you personally?
I think the reason we switched to Kalex is KTM decided to quit from Moto2. So we used to ride for KTM.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't have any choice. There is only two manufacturers back then, Speed Up and Kalex. So we switched to Kalex. Obviously, the package is much, much better. So we saw the difference immediately. And between 19 to 20, I felt that I have lack of knowledge or something to connect between me, the team, and the rider.
Right, because you're
Uh,
too close to it, and sometimes you need that
yeah,
buffer.
yeah, yeah,
Absolutely
yeah, yeah,
right.
yeah. So I contacted John Hopkins. I think he just finished recovery from the injury he had in 17, I think, in UK, and we met. And then I offered him to come and join me to help me with the team. But at the same time, I offered him to come and join me on the management company to build more like a pool of riders, American, like we said, for the future. Uh, that's it. I think it was a big move. It was interesting. It's helped a lot in 2020. We came with a good package. Obviously, Joe very talented. Hopkins and Joe managed to connect very well back then in 2020,
Good.
and the result came quickly. Now, obviously,
That's awesome, man.
but remember, 2020 was a COVID year. So after we came back in June to ride, I think the fact that it was no spectators, no guests, paddock was closed.
Hmm.
We always together have to stay together. I think the relationship become really good, really strong, and I think at the end of the day, it's helped a lot to build the team in a way that it's like a small family. Obviously, people change and stuff, but the majority of the people stay.
Of course. Ethan, can I ask you a quick question? I think this is kind of important because I know a lot of people go through major challenges in their life and sometimes things don't work out. You said you took a little time off when all that had transpired and kind of worked on yourself. Would you be okay sharing like what you did to kind of get
Yeah,
yourself better? I think that's an important part for people to understand that when things are hard, there are ways to get out of it and change your perception and mindset.
I think the from my personal side, I know for myself, I finished 2023 not in a good, not in a, not good condition, but state of mind. I was like tired. I
Hmm.
saw that I'm doing something wrong. The team, obviously, there is no results. The direction wasn't perfectly, and the way I react to this event wasn't the best. The way I wanted to do it. So I was trying to look for some stuff outside because most of the people in the paddock for years over there, they're walking the same, they're thinking the same, they're managing the team the same way. And it's a very boxy style of management or approach to the sport, I think, which is okay. It's working well, but I felt that I need something a bit different.
Right.
Um, we at the house we are, we become a big football, American football
Rams fan?
plans because we start off my younger son, he's play professional in high school, so he drag us
Nice.
Now, as an Israeli that grew up with no football, with zero knowledge about the sport,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
took us time, but we hooked up completely, and so we love the sport a lot. And
Nice.
I sold the house to Sean McVay a few years ago
Oh,
in
okay.
Hidden
Yeah,
Hills
yeah, yeah.
Cool.
after he
Nice.
won the Super Bowl, and
Nice.
we become closer and closer and closer. So we become good friends, Sean
That's
and I.
great. Seems like a great
Yeah,
guy.
Very
more
cool.
than great. And
Nice.
you know,
And
That's
he's
good to
young.
hear.
He's young. How old is he?
Yeah, yeah.
38,
38?
39. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Actually,
young
his
guy,
best
man.
birthday was a few days ago. Yeah. So we become closer, and then I saw, his way is very young, the way he's managing the team, the way he's managing, the athletes. You have 50 whatever players. You
Right,
know,
right.
most of them making good money, big money. Ego, but still everything is managed like like an amazing way. Uh, I think in his staff he have 20 something coaches also and stuff. So, and I was like, something that he's doing. I know there's a lot of football coaches and stuff, but the way he's managing and the way he managed to put everybody around him and the way, for me,
Hmm.
it was fascinating. And because we close and I
Yeah.
look up to him and see how he's doing the stuff, I just approached him last year and I told him, man, I need your help. He's an amazing guy. Quickly dig into the understand the sport, understand how it's working. A lot of questions,
That's amazing.
and I did with him. I don't know, a few session, a few hours of talking, a few times,
Right.
and I think he not in a way it's like okay, tell me you need to do A, B, and C and stuff, but by the way of talking with him and understand and ask the right question and get from him the feedback and stuff. He
Yeah.
helped me change the way I see the approach, especially to the riders and the way I approach the guys that working at the team, and from the mechanic all the way to the data guys and the crew chiefs, and and the way in general to approach all this event. Not just like we come in and do like an army style, very organized in one way, but
Yeah.
still try to create. And I came with a different approach. And we used to do. I don't know if you're watching him or you're watching, he's doing every game after the game inside the locker room. He doing like kind of a pump speech, like he's talking to
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah,
the
talking to the yeah.
players and give them. It's very impressive the way he's doing it. So I watch a lot
Hmm.
of video, a lot of stuff, and I talk to him and try to understand. And and we decided to do something inside the team. I decided, and every Thursday I'm doing something, and we have on the schedule. It's called McVay Pep Talk on Thursday
Nice.
because
That's
I
cool.
understood that at the end of the day, the rider is coming. He put the helmet. He go into the box, but he feel everything inside the box. He feel the mechanics. He feel the vibe. He feel and 50% of what he's doing on the track is coming from his head mentally. So if,
Yep.
if you feel that the environment, okay, from the mechanic, the tire guy, the data guy, everybody, like it's a small family, we support him. Even when he crash, when he's coming, we never let him feel that he let us down and everything. Even when he not succeed, 2 laps to go, he crash with
Hmm.
the bike, whatever. So I worked so hard in the beginning of the season just to create this environment inside the box with the guys. As soon as something small come up, and always things come up, kill it quickly.
Of course.
Positive
Hmm.
energy, um, especially with the two riders. Let them feel that I trust them, I believe in them. Whatever they do, I'm behind them because we are together in this journey. Because in the end of the day, it's
Right,
a
right.
team. It's not like yes, he's going to ride on the bike, but if the bike is not set up perfectly and everything is in place and the
That's
timing is
right.
timing, and when he's coming during the qualification to change tires, if not everything work as we agree as a group, as a team, it's not going to work. And
Right.
Hmm.
I think the change was showing immediately. I think the environment and the vibe inside the box with everybody was like amazing.
Hmm.
So I think last year the result, especially that we did until Joe crashed and broke his collarbone and everything, I owe to Sean. He
That's
he
cool, man.
he,
Hmm.
I don't know if it fixed my head, but he let me see the stuff in a different way that, man, it's paid off big time.
Yeah,
I
and that's
hope I
cool.
hope before we
Thank,
go in again, I'm gonna have some time with him now because we're going this year a little bit early. But
Hmm.
hey, ask him if he wants to go coach the Steelers instead of the Rams for me.
no,
We need a good coach over there.
I don't think so.
No, that's cool. Hey, thank you for sharing that story. That's awesome, man. It's cool to get to know that he's a down to earth and good guy. He seems like it on TV.
He's an
So that's
amazing guy.
awesome.
Not
That
not just what he's doing with the team. I think on a personal
right.
level, as a friend, as a person, as a husband, as like man, it's really like unique guy.
And I love that you shared that because you're a president owner. You've got a lot. You've been managing lots of people your whole life and responsible for the things. And sometimes a lot of people don't understand that. It's okay to just take a deep breath and kind of step back a little bit, go to somebody and get a different point of view who's successful in whatever they're doing and learn. I mean, it's the learning that when you stop learning, you stop moving forward. So that's awesome that you shared that story with us, and thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So going back to 2020, one of the early shining moments for you guys was Joe Roberts' record-breaking lap at the 2020 Qatar Grand Prix. How did it feel to see everything come together and in such a, in your hard work, the effort you've put into the team and the history, considering where you guys came from? How did that moment feel as far as validation and
Man, honestly, we didn't. It wasn't. We didn't plan that we're gonna do so good the first race. We knew that it got some
yeah,
stronger. It felt good, but it was a big surprise. Uh, but I think again,
a great surprise?
everything come together really good. He had a good co-chief, good relationship with him. John came into the picture, helped us a lot. The bike was
Hmm.
perfectly done. Um, so I think everything came together, but I wasn't prepared to be like a lap record and then finish fourth in the race, but almost a podium in the first race after 1 year. So it was a
It's insane.
good, exciting feeling. I don't think I never processed it like took it like wow, we're doing something.
Right.
Especially after we finished, we just flew back to home, and then COVID was just there. So I think the head and everything was we didn't have the time to enjoy it and the momentum too
Yeah.
much because it was like okay, we did something good, and then boom, everything shut down for 3 months.
And
Yeah,
then right back.
stops. I know it
Yeah.
sucks.
Sometimes, like
Gosh.
this year, we're doing good, and then the momentum. So every other 2 weeks, we're going again, and then it's like building up, and you feel it.
Yeah,
Oh,
you can
we're
play
doing
off of
something
that.
really good. But
Yeah.
2020
Hmm.
was a little bit odd, and then we came back to Jerez after 3 months, and then the result went down, and then it was up. So it was like kind of a
Roller coaster.
yeah.
Yeah. For young racer, young dream inspire who may be listening to this show, take us a little bit into American Racing Academy. What's it all about? What was the vision behind it? And give us a success story out of it.
Uh, as I told you, we start something that can build up to and help and support young riders. We had to stop. Uh, Now it's coming back again,
Mm-hmm.
and I can share with you some stuff that we're going to do this season.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Uh, but I think it took us time to understand very well the way we need to go, the approach, and some kind of it's a 5 year plans if you call it, on a bigger scale. You cannot take a rider and tell him just to go and do the staff or help him or support him because in the end of the day it's not just financial support or put him in this team or that team. It's kind of a program that you need to go through.
Hmm.
So what we're doing this season that we decided to step in again and create a platform or kind of a path for young kids to come. We do two things. First of all, we open a team together with a local Spanish guy that had like a super sport team at the Junior GP, the Spanish Championship.
Hmm.
So this year we're going to have two ETC bikes, which is a European Talent Cup.
Nice.
To call it, it's like a pre Moto3 style, and it's for 14 years old. And we're gonna have two Moto2 bikes of the same team. So it's a team that's gonna run the Spanish Championship. We call it the Spanish, but it's European Championship with four bikes, two ETC and two Moto2.
And all U.S. kids, right?
No, so now that's the thing. There's no kids available. We start,
No kids available.
Wow.
but
Shit.
we sign
My
up with
gosh.
one kid. His name is Mikey Sanchez. So he's gonna
Okay.
ride the ETC. He's young. He's 14 years old.
Nice.
And I'm working now to see if I can sign up another American kid to come to ride. He's also 14 years old. Um, and this year, the Moto2 will ride with like two Spanish guys just to the team will start running. We don't have yet um, candidate or American rider that in the level that can come and ride and get some results.
I
So
understand.
we know that it's going to take us at least 2 years to start building up and get the opportunity. Uh, but this that's for us was a big step because we understood that we have to have this middle championship that any American kid that we want to support and help to bring him over there, he can do the 2 years. And if we see that the level is good enough, we can bring him to the world championship. Because also it's not just about the team and the results, it's also for the riders, I think. When riders that doing well in US come into world championship and finish every race 20, 24, 22, 50, not even 15, I think it's fucked up his head a bit. He feel that
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's not moving nowhere. So it's not good for us as a team. For him as a rider, for sure, it's like frustrating and get him like I think backward instead to move forward.
Right.
So we want to create the platform that if somebody American coming to ride with us, he already have 2 years experience on the Moto2. He understand the bike, understand the culture, understand the track, most of them, and come stronger. That's the mentality. Uh, we did another small step. It's still not announced yet, but we're gonna do it soon. We did a partnership over here in US with a big team, Ducati team, to do
Nice.
it's going to have a talent cup championship in Moto America this year. They start, first season with the Kramer bikes, which is similar to kind of a GP style bike. So we're doing partnership with one team, so we're gonna have a present, like American Racing present in this championship. So we can bring young American there, and then
That's cool.
we're trying to do something with the championships that who's gonna win the championship in US will get automatically free spot with our ETC team in Europe. But this is something that we're still building up with Moto America to create
Correct.
this platform. But we decided that now is the time we could come back and invest and bring, do some stuff in US and also create some kind of connection between the championship in US to Europe. Because in the end of the day, it's have to be kind of a step, US Talent Cup is winning, going to Europe, and then, going to the World Championship. So
Got
we
it.
back involving with these kids, but we changed a little bit because we cannot do like a real academy like Valentino Rossi.
Yeah.
When you have an academy, everybody come to the same place. They live in the same area. They have the
Right.
ranch. They have the Visano track. They have the small track. So it's like more like a camp. They live in a different place, but every one of them has very close
Everybody's
over there.
together. Yep.
In US, scale, the size and stuff. There's kids in
Of
Pennsylvania,
course.
kids in Florida, kids in California. It's almost impossible to create this kind of academy style. Uh, so we decided this is the way we should do it. And if we see some kid that we can support, we see the talent, we can bring him, help him, obviously financially, help him on the team, give him a spot, just take him with us all the way up. Uh,
Eaton, quick question. When you're talking about U.S. being so big and talent is spread around, are you like your recruiting process to be able to get some of these talented kids over to you? Is it are you linked with different coaches from all around the United States with schools? How does it work? Like, how do you recruit and try to get good talent to come over to American Racing Academy?
I think we follow. We see what's going on. We see in a different championship. We see in the mini GP, which the young kids do in the Valley. I see what's like could be a talented kid. So I think we
Right.
look at the kid, results, obviously, the character, the ways he's behaving, the way the social media, obviously I'm
Mm-hmm.
talking with other people, with, other
Of
riders and
course.
stuff, just to get information. And I think the most crucial part on the decision, if we do something, if we want to bring somebody to ride with us, is the family. This is a big, huge factor, because when a player going to play for the NFL, when he's a 20, 21, his family, nobody involved, nobody like in his life, maybe behind the scene, but
Of
they don't
course.
come to the field. They're not involved in the training. They're not
Of
there.
course.
Right.
When you bring young kids, when 14, 15, even 18, sometime, always, some family, the dad is there. You tell him what to do, how to do. And then some dads come and tell you, oh, you don't manage the technical correctly, if you
No,
do
yeah.
this and that. And we had bad experience, really, really bad, with some riders.
Mm.
So this is for me number one. If I don't see or feel comfortable with the family, uh, that they
You
understand that
know it's not gonna
in
work.
some point they need to go back and do just stay as a family, not like as a technical director for his son. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
not going to do it. We had some chance to do some
Mm.
stuff this year with some American, but one of the reasons that we skip it, it was the environment around the kids and the involvement.
Yeah.
Sucks.
And
That sucks.
It's
Hurts the
important.
sometimes the
kids
dads
so
don't
bad.
understand, in some point they need the role of them, and I know it's difficult because he start with the kids when he's young and he helping, and he was the mechanic, he was that everything for the kids. At some
Right.
point they need to do
Right.
step back and just
Correct.
Right.
let the kid to roll.
Let them fly.
And
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
see in MotoGP, the European guys, the guys that it was like the family was involved, you see in the career was like, like a roller coaster. I can
Yep.
give you names that, you can hear some stories.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
disaster.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And some
Yeah.
riders that the family decided to disconnect and let their kids running with the team and with professional
Mm-hmm.
management and stuff.
Right.
Look at Pedro Acosta. His dad
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
was with him until, he used to ride for the team, the Swiss team that I bought in the Spanish Championship. He used to ride for them. But in some point, the dad was like, took two step. It's like you don't see him, you don't hear him. He's not coming, no
Yeah.
nothing. You know, the team took over, and there was a professional manager that managed the kids, and that's it. So I
Yeah.
think for us, it's just the talent, the dedication, training, social media
Mm-hmm.
today. There is a big part. You can see the character, you can see how the kids is acting, and obviously the
Mm-hmm.
family.
Thank you for
Yeah.
answering that. That was awesome, man. I've always been interested to find out how all that works with this young talent coming up with it's crazy.
And you're making mistake,
So
and
much
Yeah.
sometimes
involved.
don't you're making mistake, bad judgment,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
2 years
Can,
ago, I
can
did
you
a
tell
bad
right? Can you
judgment
tell
on
right away?
what?
Like, can you tell right away when you see kids? Like, can you just say like he or she's just got it, or can you work with very good to make great, or does the kid just have to have it?
I think first of all, the kids have to have the talent because the rest of the stuff you can work with.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there is some young either that they have the work ethic, training, dedication, everything, but they don't have the extra talent or the extra thing here that they can do it. So whatever they're gonna do, it's not gonna help them. I think in any sport,
Yeah.
not only this,
In any
in
sport,
any sport.
right, right.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's have to be combined between the talent, the dedication, hard work, everything together.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think Nicholas Wanenmacher's dad was a shining example of helping his son cultivate that self-discipline side of things, because he's like what, 17 now, Serge?
Yeah, he's
And
17. He's an
yeah, since he
Austrian
was
kid,
like,
but he's racing in Spain now.
mm-hmm. And his when he was 12, 13, he already had his regiments down, and his dad kind of, fully supportive, but stepped back a little bit and let him become the self-starter that he is today. And now his self-discipline is just
Yeah, off the charts
mind-blowing
for a
and
young
super
kid.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you hear that, kids? You want to make sure your social media is on par, and keep your family in line, and you might have a shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, So Ethan, you mentioned Kayla Yakoff, and you've worked with other rising stars like Rocco Landers. Is there anything else outside of the Spanish program the academy does to prepare riders for the challenges of competing in an international stage, maybe mentally or something else outside of the box?
Again, it's we try to find the right setup, let's call it, but it was super
Mm-hmm.
difficult. Kayla was from Pennsylvania. We worked with Juju. He was from Florida. We had few riders over
Mm-hmm.
here in California. It was hard for us to as a team or academy to come and help support like on daily basis. The only thing that we did, I think,
Yeah.
with Kayla, uh, she went to do the R3 championship in Europe. So we helped financially, obviously, to send her over there.
Yeah.
We did the
Mm-hmm.
connection with the championship. She was riding under, obviously, American racing and also American flag. And John went few times to the races to try to support her and help her and guide her. But
Mm-hmm.
that's the maximum we could do, with somebody like this going and do some stuff. Again,
Sure.
she's very good. She's very talented. She's a hard worker. She's a great rider. But I think for her right back then it was like the flight going back and forth wasn't easy. Plus
Sure.
to go into
Yeah.
a track that she was never before. She didn't have any
Right.
track
Raced
time.
on. Yep.
She compete with riders that did over there, thousands of kilometers on those tracks. So that was the difference. And you can see here over here when she's riding in US and she have the track time, she's performing very well. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Now again, it's not easy, and I don't think we have any magic help or support or something we can do. I think
Mm-hmm.
the only thing at the moment that we can do is to provide, let's say, the team or the program that we can bring the kids and put him in the team and then support him while he's competing in the championship. Because also remember,
Sure.
all the riders, even the world championship, the team not involved in any of the training outside of the race weekend.
Mm-hmm.
The rider every rider has his own completely different training program, different way to do it, different time, location, whatever.
Gotcha.
So it's it's not existing. And even sometime, we try to help, we try to do some stuff, and then with some point we understand that we cannot ask, we cannot push, and we cannot control. Every rider, when he's going home, he do his stuff, his program. Uh,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
we have two riders, one in Spain, one in US right now. If we look at the team, it is the American racing team. Each one of them train different style, different bikes, different time, mentality completely. But this is the stuff.
Yep.
They
Mm-hmm.
coming into the race weekend, and that's the only connection that we can do. With the young kids, with the academy, it was difficult. We couldn't have, beginning it was okay. Let's take a spot in Austin, do like a base that they're going to come, do some camp and stuff. But man, I think the scale, the size in US and the distance, it's make things really really hard.
Got it.
Sure. Makes sense.
So tying it all together, right? This young kid in Beersheba, looking back, the decision to move to LA, run businesses, run a professional race team, an academy. Was this what you thought was going to happen,
No,
or did the course completely change?
completely change.
No shit.
Man, I'm sometime, every race I'm coming back. I'm the only one that coming back to US. So every flight, sometime I'm, night flight back to home to LA. I'm sitting,
Right.
especially after Mugello last year, that the trophy was like in the plane, next to me. And I said, fuck, like you said, the kids from Beersheba, small
Right.
town that for him was to watch Kevin Schwantz was the big back then, the big icon. And then I can see him, and then
Mm-hmm.
I can call him now, and we talk on the phone. And,
That's cool.
then Valentino
That is so
Rossi,
cool.
we're doing some stuff together, and they invite me to the ranch. It's like sometimes I feel like it's we living in a dream. But
That's cool, man.
yeah,
That's cool. Awesome.
All right, so the 2024 season with Joe on board and what was the 2024 season like for you guys?
I think 24 was that we managed, I think, to put everything together in terms of understanding what we need to do as a team. As I explained you on my side, for sure, we brought
Mm-hmm.
Joe to ride for us and Marcos continue, but brought back Joe.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, the fact I think he went to a different team and came back to us, he was much more mature as a person, much more better
Nice.
rider. He understand what he
Mm-hmm.
need to be focused and what not. And then I think that the feeling that he came back home, that's why we called him, when we signed the contract, that he coming back home, speaking
Nice.
English in the inside the box, speaking English with everybody. I think in the fact that we did it again, bring everybody in the team like a different vibe. Uh,
Sure.
I know, by fact that he trained a lot before the season, and he came with different mentality to win this championship. That's it. He didn't come to any play or
Mm-hmm.
stuff. So that was I think the big change. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously we did really really well. We led the championship, or it was the one, second, or
Yeah.
third until he broke the collarbone.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the big change. We did some
Yeah.
stuff on the technical side that I don't know if people maybe look into it too much or understand, but trying to think outside of the box.
Mm-hmm.
We switched from Dunlop to Pirelli.
Mm-hmm.
So try to get some kind of advantage or understand the tires and stuff. So we sign up with a company from Napoli, from Italy. They're doing services for Formula One,
Mm-hmm.
analyze and predict tires performance
Mm-hmm.
with some kind of technology.
Right.
So we are the only Moto2 team that working with them. So it's helped us to
Nice.
understand the tires better and faster.
Mm-hmm.
And, and this year even going to be even much better. We improve and we collect all the data finally that we have. And
Yeah.
yeah, and we just, again, it's just to keep the mental side inside the team, from the rider to the last mechanic, to be always like at the top, good vibe, positive vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I think help a lot to create this.
Definitely.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
he broke his collarbone, and then, he came back and then broke again his hand. And so
Shit.
it put us
Yeah.
like
Hard
this.
time.
But man, in the end of the day, we finished the season third in the championship as a team.
Really nice.
And the number one Kalex team, the
Nice.
championship. We brought a replacement
Mm-hmm.
rider for Joe, somebody that wasn't on the bike the entire season, Navarro, and then he did the podium. Which was nice.
Yeah, that's
I don't
insane.
think there is maybe one time in the history that replacement rider come in and then do podium after second race,
At
which is
podiums.
really good.
Damn.
It's
So I
insane.
think it showed that
Yeah.
the team in a very good level in terms of the technical side
Absolutely.
and the environment inside the
Yeah.
team. That you bring some other riders, and I'm happy because it's helped him as well to get a ride this year to Jorge Navarro. He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Um,
Speaking of Ethan, so you're in good shape. So you're probably in that optimization stage right now. And I wanted to ask, what are your goals going into this season, and what do you want to see happen with American racing?
Winning the championship. That's it.
Heck yeah,
No,
of course.
no
Yeah,
other.
nice.
We need to win this championship with Joe this season. That's it. That's the goal.
Let's go.
And you will.
Only
Nice.
You
one
will. You
goal.
seem like
Number one.
yeah. You seem
Clear
like the
vision.
type of person that you when you follow what you vision, you go after it. So, and that's kind of going to lead me to the last question before we get into the speed round and have some fun with you. But what advice would you give? Another young Eaton who's sitting down or listening to this podcast, you know, as far as chasing their dreams at a young age or maybe even later on to chase their passions, what would you say to somebody?
I said that everything is possible, especially if you live in US, in America. Everything is possible. It doesn't matter where you come from, what you're doing. How is your accent sound like shitty like mine? And how is your English
No.
completely broken? Uh, in America, you can do, if you want, you can do almost everything. Uh, Maybe it's not politically correct, but we saw some stuff the last few months. Everything can happen over here.
That's right.
Uh,
USA,
Thank God. Thank God.
USA, USA.
yeah, man.
Let's go.
It's like this, man. It is what it is. Everything's possible. I'm trying to tell my kids, it's not easy when they kids in these days, I think, grew up that everything is easy, everything is there. It's like
Yeah.
if something
Agree.
goes wrong,
Agree.
everything is like shaking. But
Yeah.
I
How,
always
how
tell
old
them,
are your kids?
I got the youngest is 17, got
Mm-hmm.
21, 22 almost, and 24.
Okay.
So I'm trying to teach them. This is, I think everything is
Yeah.
possible. Sometimes you feel that it's impossible to do this, or impossible to get accepted to this college, or it's impossible that the coach will call you and do it. And I told them, hey, man, look at me. I didn't know football. I didn't know people. I didn't know the language. I did come with no money when I came, and look what we're doing. And I can pick up the phone to almost everybody here. If I want somebody or I want something, it can happen. So
That's right.
the kids need to know if they have the passion, if they're doing the hard work, if they know the plan and they're ready to dedicate their life to what racing. Absolutely, it's happening.
And any of the kids going into the family business?
My oldest son is in movie business. He went in. My daughter, completely different education, and my youngest son, the only thing he cares is football. He's
Okay.
going
Nice.
So
college next
he's
year.
going to
So right
college.
now
Where is he going?
that's what we're
Where
busy all day long with, to find him the right team or right college that he can go.
is he Division One material?
He is, but if you know what's going on with the colleges, the last 2 years,
Yeah, yeah,
Yep.
the NIL, yeah.
NIL,
I
yeah.
know it's a
it's
mess.
it's a difficult. I think most of the colleges, especially the good ones, don't take a high schooler. They take maybe one or two from high school, and the rest they do in
Right,
transfer.
right.
They have money
That's right.
Yep.
to do it today.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
So
Sucks.
it's
I think
become
it's
much,
destroyed
much,
college.
much harder to those kids. He got some offer from D2 and 3, but he's like, no, I want to do D1. So
All or
I'm
nothing.
trying to help, doing
Yeah.
any connection that I can. But yeah,
Understand.
Has he gotten to talk with McVay yet?
actually yes, and that's
Nice.
why he's
Heck yeah.
pissed me off. It's because last year before his season start, he did also a few sessions with him, and I told him, man, you
Sweet.
need
That's insane.
you need to post it. You have some picture of him, going some
Yeah.
drills on some plays and
Right,
doing
right,
some
right,
stuff
right.
and giving books to
Heck yeah.
read. Put it
Yeah.
on social media. It's
Yeah. He's a
coaches
good dude to
enjoy it.
have in your
They
corner.
see it. No, I don't want to do show off. I thought it's not a show off. People need to know that you have direct connection to the number one guy.
Right, right. I like his humbleness though. He's
Yeah,
gonna
but
do it on his
man, but
own.
it's a
Is
business.
that's
In the
what I
end of
think
the
that's what
day,
he
you
should.
need to build
You
your
do. You
It
you
is
need
a
to know
business.
people, right? It is a
exactly.
business.
Yeah.
And so yeah, finally did something. I think 2 months ago on Twitter, but
Good.
some
What
pictures.
about riding? Any of the kids ride motorcycles?
No,
No shit. You kidding me? They've had
Dang.
a pit pass to the world's greatest sport, and oh man,
nothing.
I would be.
Nothing, nothing. Just
That's
just my wife.
amazing. Nothing.
She have a Ducati, but that's it.
Nice. Good woman.
We
That's a good. That she's a keeper.
yeah, but
All right.
no kids not there. But it's fine. It's better.
All right. So I guess we're gonna go into the speed round, but Ben's got a
Yeah.
deal
I
here.
got the
We
deal
usually do
figured out.
deals with people
All right.
before we
So
start the speed round.
15 questions, 2 minutes. If you finish in under 2 minutes, Serge will get American Racing tattooed on his forehead. If you go over 2 minutes,
I got a lot of real estate over here, man.
yeah,
I can do
got a
everything.
5
now.
head. If you go over 2 minutes, though, Serge and I both have sons. You're gonna have to send 2 extra helmets our way.
Okay.
No helmets, man. That's
Those things are freaking awesome. They're so
yeah,
cool.
yeah, that is cool.
The
That is
design
cool.
is sweet.
All right, you
Ready to do
ready?
this?
Yeah.
Let's do it. We got 2 minutes on the clock. If your bike could talk, what's one thing it would nag you about?
My bike.
Yeah.
Change tires on time.
Okay. All right. You must drive fast. What would be the absolute worst superpower to have while riding?
Worse, overthinking.
Overthinking, yeah, that's good. Best motorcycle you've ever owned or ridden?
I think the best one that I own, I have it right now. It's the Ducati RS Multistrada, the new one. I love
That's
it.
nice. Yeah, yeah.
And some few Moto2 bikes that in my living room, my office.
It must be just insane
Yeah.
to jump on one of
Yeah.
those motos, huh? I like that. The performance on something like that is probably just undescribable. All right, next one. If motorcycles didn't exist, what weird hobby would you be known for?
Ooh. I don't know. I don't have any other hobbies. I think only motorcycle. So
Or you
I don't know.
just bleed the two wheels. I'm the same way. What's your guilty but go-to pleasure for alcoholic beverage? And if you don't drink, what's your go-to snack?
Whiskey.
Whiskey? What kind of whiskey you like?
Hibiki. Japanese
Oh,
whiskey.
nice. Yeah. That's some good whiskey. All right. What's the most underrated piece of gear every new rider should consider? Most underrated piece of gear every new rider should consider.
I don't know. Professional rider or any rider?
Just any rider, any new rider coming onto a bike. What do you think they should
I think
definitely
good boots.
always use?
Is experience that crash with the wheelie with no boots or no good boots and broke two legs. Yes.
Agreed. Yep. All right. I want to hear this one because I want to know your music love. If you could get up on stage and sing or jam with one band, who would it be?
Led Zeppelin.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
All right.
Awesome.
You are. If you could recommend one book, film, or documentary to every motorcycle enthusiast, what would it be?
Film. I don't know.
Well, it could be film, book, documentary, anything that you've seen that you just kind of hit you the right way.
I don't know. I think I read. Do you know the book Valentino Rossi wrote after he moved from Honda to Yamaha? No,
No.
I read it.
What's the
That's
name
it's
of?
a motorcycle.
It's a good.
If you're in the business or you like motorcycle, just to understand racing mentality, and then
Gotcha.
big balls to move from successful team bike and everything to not, and then did what he did. It was a big move for people that understand the sport. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I know that Rossi is like, we've had a lot of different racers and just people from Europe and all over the world who we've had on the show. And when we ask them, like, who's one person that they would like to have dinner with or who's one person that they looked up to, I mean, I would say 98% will say Rossi. I mean, that's how big that guy. That's awesome, man. All right.
He's got an autobiography, and there's another book called Ring of Fire.
I think the
Is
autobiography.
it the
This is
Ring
the
of-
one that telling the story about
Okay. Cool.
All right. Best place you ever rode and why?
Italy.
Oh, yeah? Why?
The road the place is beautiful. The road are beautiful, and people respect motorcycle riders on the road.
That's good.
That's number one.
good.
Nice.
You can ride.
Is it northern Italy?
No, I like Tuscany. Every year I'm
All over.
taking
Tuscany,
I
beautiful.
pick up Ducati and I'm doing 2 or 3 days in Tuscany. I love it.
Gorgeous.
Do you ride a lot out in LA?
Used to, not anymore. I don't have any time.
Gotcha.
Unfortunately.
even during off season, what do you normally do? Do you just go out to the hills and ride out there?
I live right on Mulholland Highway, so
Oh, okay.
canyons. So I'm doing the canyons and stuff. But this season I didn't have so much time. I'm going Monday, Tuesday to ride at the track with Joe.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
nothing too much.
All right. Cool. What's a common maintenance mistake that even experienced riders sometimes make?
I don't know. I know what I'm not doing too much.
Go ahead. Tell
the
us.
chain, replace the chain, or
Oh, the chain.
lube the chain on time. And
Lube the chain. I know a lot of guys don't lube their chain a lot. Absolutely
Yeah.
right. That's a really good one. If you could time travel, which era would you visit and why?
Which era? I think the 60s.
Why?
I don't know. I think everything was much simple, easier. Not easier, but simple. I don't know. Especially over here, it's looked like in Los Angeles. I think the 60s was a
Oh my God,
good
that was
Oh
a
time.
yeah.
good time to be out
The
there, man, for
cars,
sure.
the street, Hollywood
Yeah.
started.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a cool time.
Absolutely, good point. Last dinner ever, what would it be?
Hmm. Location or with who?
Just your last dinner. If you can eat something for the last time, what would it be?
The menu.
I love a Nobu in Malibu, so I don't know. That's my right now.
Nice.
This is my go place, so I don't know. Maybe this one. Yeah.
What do you get when you go there?
Be surprised, but they have at lunch until 3 o'clock. They have like a special sliders burger.
Burger
Oh
sliders.
wow.
Even though it's a Japanese place, but the
Yeah.
food is amazing.
Wouldn't expect you to say
Japanese are
sliders.
great, man.
The food is amazing. But for me, when I'm going to place, it's just the food, the environment, the location, the vibe,
Of course,
everything, all
of
the
course.
package.
All right,
That's
this
what he
this
said.
this this is an interesting one. What's the best prank you've ever pulled on a fellow team member or rider? Just you guys were goofing around just to loosen up the mood.
Oh, uh, I'm trying to remember. I don't know. I'm trying.
Because sometimes you have to probably like when the rider is too tense or too over concentrated, you kind of have to break him or break her the that tension. So
I don't think I did
you know,
anything like significant to the riders. No,
no.
no.
All right, that's
You
okay. It's
never
all right.
know
We'll move on.
how it's gonna affect them.
Right,
Right,
right. Good
right,
point.
right.
Good point. Good point.
It's
And it's
risky when
true
you're trying to
because
win
you're
championships.
you're in everything. So from team owner to manager to everything else. So you got a lot to always be concerned about. Besides the One Gang Worldwide podcast, do you listen to any other podcasts out there?
No, not so many.
Is there anything that kind of interests you that you tune into from time to time?
Yeah, but I don't know. I try a few times, especially on the flight and stuff. But I don't know. Maybe I have no. I need to do something. I cannot just listen and stuff. I need to be active. I need to do something. So I don't know.
Hmm.
Understand. Okay. All right. Well, that's cool. You made it, man. Within 2 minutes. So I guess I'm getting a big tattoo
Tattoo.
right here of your company name, but I don't know how Ben
I
comes up
wanted
with
that
one.
helmet.
I know. Hey, but with all sincerity, we just wanted to thank you so much for taking the time out of your
Yep.
busy schedule, man. We awesome to get to know you, number one, and hearing your journey through your life up until now, and we're huge fans. We wish you and your team just nothing but success in 2025. You got two big fans now that are going to follow you
We're rooting for you.
consistently here in Florida. So anytime you come down here, please let us know. I have an extra motorcycle you can always ride. I'll take you on some cool little journeys. Not fast like your Ducatis. They're Harleys, but they're slow and leaky and loud. But
Yeah.
at least we'll have some fun, and I can show you some cool areas down here.
Cool. Thank you guys. Thank you for
And
having me.
Serge already has some OnlyFans shirts that he got from his account he runs. So he'll
Yeah. 0 views. Yeah, not many fans. It's no fans.
Thank you so much, Eaton. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
We'll be rooting
Thank
for
you, guys. Thank
Thanks,
you.
buddy.
Take care.
Thank you.
See ya.